Yooka-Laylee is a platformer game published by Team 17 and developed by Platonic Games. The game follows a chameleon named Yuka and a bat named Laylee on their quest to retrieve a magical book from an evil corporation. Starting with the positives, Yooka-Laylee has a great charm to it. From the dialogue to the backgrounds, even to the levels themselves, Yooka-Laylee managed to charm me very early on, and continued until the very end. The goal of Yooka-Laylee is going from world to world collecting all the pages you can get so you can put this book back together. There are 5 worlds you can enter to start collecting pages, and you'll be doing different tasks like collecting ghosts, getting all the quills, playing retro games, and most importantly doing the missions. And there's a good variety of missions you can do to get these pages. What I like about this game is that they never felt boring, and all of the worlds were really unique and different from one another. My favorite was the casino one. The hub world you can explore and you can get different pages in there, and it's pretty neat to play in. What is really neat about this game is the ability to expand worlds depending on how many pages you can have, and I think that's a great idea and was executed very well. It made each stage more unique, and I was really curious to see what the world was going to be like once it was expanded. And difficulty-wise, this game is pretty standard. There are some tough missions you have to do to get some pages. However, if you want to beat this game, you can just collect 100 pages instead and fight the final boss. Speaking of the bosses, most of them are pretty easy, with the exception of the final boss. Make sure you pay attention though, because at certain points in the game, there's going to be these quiz levels where you basically have to answer questions based on what you saw and experienced in the game so far. Kind of similar to the Banjo-Kazooie quiz stage before the ending of the game, before you fight Gruntilda. It's kind of like that, but it's a bit more spread out in this one. Graphically, this game looks pretty good. The models look fine on the Nintendo Switch, but maybe they'll look better on the PS4, Xbox, and PC. All the levels themselves looked really cool. I like the colorful aesthetic of the first world to the icy aesthetic in the next one. The backgrounds look good, and overall, the game looked pretty good. This game is capped at a 30 frames per second on the Nintendo Switch, and I know some people may not be a fan of that, but if you are, then the Switch version is going to be fine. However, if you are a person that wants high frame rates, go for PS4, Xbox, and PC, obviously. Sound-wise, it was just alright. The soundtrack isn't bad, but nothing ever stood out to me. Since this game takes a lot from Banjo-Kazooie, I'd expect an amazing soundtrack, but what we got was just alright. A little below average. Overall, Yooka-Laylee is just mid. It's not a bad game at all, and in fact, I would go as far as to say this game is pretty fun and enjoyable, but it is just a whatever 3D platformer, and as a huge fan of the genre, I'd expected a bit more. My problem is that Yooka-Laylee tries to be so much like Banjo-Kazooie that it almost just doesn't have its own identity. However, that being said, I still think Yooka-Laylee is a fine game. If you can get it for cheap, I would say definitely pick it up. I got it for like $4 on a Nintendo Switch sale, and I was like, yep, I kind of want to get it. And I don't regret my purchase. It was only $4. And overall, it was alright. Big thanks to Miasma Senpai, Warp8, Ash the Man, and my 2 newest patrons, Johnny on the Spot and Nathan Harsh. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.